Hello and welcome back here. I'm Machi and this is my corner. If you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe and click on your notification bell so that you get all my updates whenever it's out there. And to my old subscribers, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you that stuck with me from the beginning or joined halfway. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. So yeah, today I'm going to be talking about the differences between universities in Nigeria versus universities here in the Philippines. There are so many, numerous differences with studying in Nigeria and studying in the Philippines. Mind you, I did not study in university level in Nigeria, although I have my older siblings who had attended universities in Nigeria, and of course the stories out there about what it feels like to study in a Nigerian higher institution of learning. I, on my own part, am taking up my college, my university level here in the Philippines. So I have a first-hand experience of what it feels like to be studying here. So yeah, let's get right down into it. The first difference with having to study here in the Philippines in university level is the fact that contrary to what is obtainable in Nigeria, you do not have a matriculation. That's an acceptance into college level. Your first year, when you got admission, it's kind of an induction into the university. In Nigeria, it's very common to have matriculations when you're starting out your first semester in your first year in university. That's college. But here in the Philippines, there is no such thing like that. You don't have any matriculations. You get your admission, you go to your school, and then you enroll and start up the SEM, which is not the way it is in Nigeria. Also, here in the Philippines, unlike Nigeria, you do not write a general examination before you can get accepted into colleges, that's universities. However, some schools do have an oral interview to get to know your capacity, maybe your intellectual level, and then determine maybe the department that you're suitable for before you get accepted. But unlike Nigeria, where you can write examinations such as JAM, NCE, pre-degrees and all that before you can enter a higher institution of learning, here in the Philippines, once you get accepted, once you get admission from your chosen university, you come here. Some don't have any interviews at all. You enroll and you start your semester, although some have interviews. So in a school that has interviews, all it will take is just for you to pass the interview test, which is usually very easy and nothing complex, just the general knowledge, and then you are accepted and you start up your semester. Other differences with studying here in the Philippines as compared to studying in Nigerian universities is the fact that here in the Philippines we wear uniforms Monday to Saturday. If you have Saturday classes, you have to wear your school uniforms with your school ID. Sometimes, even on so many occasions, if you go to school without your school ID or your school uniform, you can be refused access into the school compound by the security at the entrance. But in Nigerian institutions, I think some departments do have uniforms, because I could remember my uncle then, he was in pharmacy department. They do have uniforms, but it's not every day that you get to wear those uniforms. But sometimes they can also choose not to wear the uniform even on the chosen days and then still have access into the classroom. Here, however, you have to wear your uniforms every single day that you have class, and that's just the way it is. Other noticeable differences includes the size of the universities. Here in the Philippines, the size of the universities are very small compared to the size of universities in Nigeria. I would say the size of universities here in the Philippines can be compared to the size of high school in Nigeria. I'm not talking about the population, I'm talking about the square meters of the compound. Given compound of a university in the Philippines here can be compared to the size of a high school in Nigeria. Sometimes sizes of high schools in Nigeria are even a whole lot larger. I don't know why this is so, but it was one of the shocking things that I experienced when I went to my school upon resumption. I was like, is this all? Like, is there more to read? Because in Nigeria you get to find a very large, vast area of land dedicated for higher institutions, where you have several departments that before you get from one department to the other, you might need to shuttle in between, just to show you how far and how wide it is between departments in the same university. But here it's so small that you can just go from one classroom, from one departmental demarcations to the next, and most of the time it also has to be kind of the same building but just stretched out. So yeah, the size of the school are different. In Nigeria it is very, very large, but here in the Philippines it is small. Again, the age of the students as well as the sizes of the students, let me just say that. Yeah, what I mean is that here you get to find out that the students are way younger than what's obtainable in Nigerian higher institutions of learning. Of course, there are people that are opportune to actually study earlier as well in Nigeria, but it's not very common. Reason being that I think there is a rule that you have to be at least 18 years before you can get into higher institution of learning in Nigeria. There are rare cases whereby there are people below 18, but that's the rule. And then again, the idea of having to write JAMB is a Joint Admission Matriculation Board exam, I think. Yeah, in Nigeria, it's a qualification exam that you write after high school before you can enter or have access into any higher institutions of learning for whatever course you've chosen. So JAMB kind of poses as a hindrance for people, such that you might find yourself taking JAMB repeatedly 2 or 3 times before you actually get an admission, and you can only write JAMB once a year. So even if you're early enough in high school to have graduated in Nigeria by the age of 16, which is seen as a young age to graduate, and then you repeat JAMB 2 or 3 times, obviously you're already lagging with age, and that's a challenge. So you find yourself starting out universities 19 or 20 years of age. If you start by 18, you're early. So that's the current situation in Nigeria. Here, on the contrary, you find until recently, when the K-12 has been passed into effect, such that I think they're expected to be 18 of age before they can enter colleges, that's universities here. But before then, you have people that graduate here, very common, as early as 19, 20, 21. So I think the age difference is something else that I felt like, wow, considering their age now and then the uniform appearance, you can easily mistake them for high school students. Another difference is with studying in Nigeria and then here in the Philippines is the fact that you can retake your exams as well as your quizzes, given that you provide a valid reason why you missed the exams or the quizzes in the first place. I don't know if it's obtainable in Nigeria. Maybe it is, but it's just something very, very normal here. If you miss your quiz or your exams and you have a credible reason as to why you were absent, you can easily go meet your instructors, as your lecturers, and they can give you a retake of the quiz and the exams that you missed. So it's also very, very normal here. There is also the pattern of examination. The pattern of examination here in university is similar to the pattern of examination in high school back home in Nigeria. In high school back home in Nigeria, we had prelims, midterms, and finals. Here in the Philippines, in university, you also have something similar to that. Some schools have 4 different stages of examinations. That's the prelims, the midterms, the semi-finals, and the finals. Whereas some other school has 3 levels of examination, which includes the prelims, the midterms, and the finals. So I don't know if it's obtainable like that in Nigeria, but that means that you constantly have examination to certify you for a certain level in each semester. One semester is part into 4 or 5 depending on your school. So you take the first exam, the prelims, you take the second exam, the midterms, you take the third exam, the finals, like my school, and then other schools have to take it 4 good times. Then again, the grading system in this country is such that importance is placed so much on grading performances. There is quiz back to back. Literally every single week of the semester you have to take a quiz, sometimes twice in a week. Sometimes, depending on the course you're taking and your instructor, like, it's just back-to-back quiz. You have to constantly read and review what you have been taught if you care about your grade, because that's mostly the focus here, your grade. Quiz, 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 exam, exam, exam. That's how it is here. I think Nigeria have like one exams in a sem, which is qualifying you, and then there will be quiz at some points in the semester. But here, prelims, midterms, semi-final and final, just like in high school, or even more, because I don't think there was semi-final in high school. It's just like prelims, midterms and final, something like that. But here it exists in the colleges. So that's another difference with the studying here in the Philippines and studying back home in Nigeria. Another difference between studying here in the Philippines and Nigeria is that the duration is shorter. Most courses offered here in the Philippines has a shorter time frame compared to the universities back home in Nigeria. Pharmacy, for example, here is 4 years. In Nigeria, it is 5 years. Medicine here, I think it's after the pre-degree, which might take you one year, 6 months, then it is 4 years. In Nigeria, I think it's 6 years, or even about to be 7 at the moment. So the duration is usually shorter here in the Philippines compared to Nigeria. Yes, and last but not the least in the list of differences between universities in Nigeria versus the Philippines, because I think I'm going to make a part 2. I don't want this video to be so long, so I'm going to do a part 2 after this one. So the last in this list is the fact that you can use your phone in the classroom here in the Philippines. I can vouch that that's not obtainable in Nigeria, because the environment and the pattern of approach is usually stricter. But here in the Philippines, you can use your phone. You can use your phone in the classroom to research for your assignment, to research for your quizzes, even at that, depending. Sometimes we have what is known as open quiz here, where you're given a quiz within a specific time frame, and you can use your phone and write the quiz. So whatever you're able to write within that period with your phone, with your book, or whatever you're getting the source from, it is permitted. I don't think that's there in Nigeria, because if you try it, your lecturer will change them for you. So yeah, those are the kind of differences with studying here in the university in the Philippines and studying there in the universities in Nigeria. And of course, watch out for the part 2, because I'm going to be bringing you more of those kind of differences. So yeah, we've come to the end of today's video in particular. So don't forget to do what? Subscribe to this channel. Keep your notification bell turned on so you get my updates whenever it's out there. And leave a thumbs up for this video kindly, as well as a comment for me in the comment section. I would really appreciate that. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for watching, and do have a wonderful day. It's a bye from me.